What if I told you that more than 2,000 years ago, a man saw weapons that did not exist yet? Weapons so powerful, they could erase entire cities in a single moment. A man with no knowledge of science, no understanding of technology, no idea what the future would hold, was given a vision of the end of the world. His name was John, and what he wrote still troubles people to this day. In the final book of the Bible, the book of Revelation, John describes things that sound strangely familiar to the modern world. He wrote about stars falling from heaven, fire raining down, thick smoke covering the land, entire regions being destroyed, and people being burned. Was John describing nuclear war? Or was he seeing something even greater? Let's explore this together. John was not a scientist. He was not a military leader. He was not a political figure. He was a follower of Jesus, who had been arrested and exiled to a small island called Patmos. He was old. He was isolated. He was suffering for his faith. And it was there, alone, far from civilization, that God gave him a series of visions about the future. These visions were intense. They were overwhelming. They were terrifying. And John did his best to write down what he saw. But there was a problem. John lived in the 1st century. He had never seen electricity, airplanes, computers, missiles, or bombs. He had no words for modern technology. So he described the future using the language he knew. In Revelation chapter 6, John writes that the stars of heaven fell to the earth. Think about that. Real stars cannot fall. They are massive suns, millions of miles away. So, what did he mean? To someone living in ancient times, anything bright, moving fast, through the sky, looked like a star, a shooting star, a falling light, a burning object from heaven. Today, what looks like that? Missiles, rockets, warheads, objects that streak through the sky before striking the ground. To John, a missile launch would have looked like a star falling from heaven. Later, in Revelation chapter 8, John describes fire falling from the sky, mixed with smoke and blood. He writes that 1/3 of the earth was burned, 1/3 of the trees were destroyed, 1/3 of the grass was consumed. In ancient warfare, nothing could do that. Not swords, not arrows, not armies, not even the greatest empires. No weapon, in John's time, could burn entire regions. But today, we know of weapons that can. Nuclear weapons release more energy than thousands of conventional bombs. They create blinding flashes, brighter than the sun. They generate firestorms that consume cities. They leave behind mushroom clouds that rise into the sky. They spread radiation that poisons the land for generations. After Hiroshima, after Nagasaki, the world saw what one bomb could do. And John described something even greater. In Revelation chapter 9, John speaks of smoke darkening the sky as if from a great furnace. He describes people being tormented by what comes from it. Today, after nuclear detonations, massive clouds of dust and smoke rise into the atmosphere. The sun becomes dim. The sky becomes dark. Scientists call it nuclear winter, a scenario where smoke blocks sunlight and temperatures drop worldwide. Crop failure, famine, collapse. John saw a world covered in darkness. Another phrase that stands out is when John writes about a third of mankind being affected, a third of the earth, a third of the sea, a third of living creatures. In ancient times, no war could reach that scale. Even the greatest conflicts were limited. But in the modern world, with nuclear arsenals capable of destroying the planet many times over, global devastation is possible. For the first time in human history, we have weapons that match the scale of John's vision. Now, it is important to be honest. The Bible does not say this is nuclear war. It does not mention uranium, missiles, or radiation. Many Christians believe these passages are symbolic. Some believe they represent spiritual judgment. Some believe they describe future technologies we have not seen yet. And some believe they refer directly to modern warfare. The Bible leaves room for interpretation. But what cannot be denied is this. John described worldwide destruction long before humans had the power to cause it. So why would God show John something so terrifying? Why reveal such darkness? Because Revelation is not about fear. It is about warning. It is about awakening. It is about reminding humanity that power without wisdom leads to destruction, that pride leads to collapse, that sin has consequences, but also that God is still in control. Throughout Revelation, there is judgment, but there is also mercy. There is suffering, but there is also salvation. There is chaos, but there is also victory. The message is not the world will end. The message is God will win. No matter how advanced human technology becomes, no matter how powerful nations grow, no matter how dangerous weapons become, God remains above it all. He is not surprised by history. He wrote it. He's not overwhelmed by the future. He sees it, and he is not distant from your life. He knows your struggles, your fears, your prayers. Whether John was describing nuclear war, future technology, or symbolic judgment, one truth remains. God revealed the end, so that people would seek him before it arrives, so that hearts would turn back, so that lives would be changed. This is not a message to create panic. It is a message to inspire faith, to remind us that time is precious, that love matters, that forgiveness matters, that eternity matters. If you are watching this and you feel uncertain about the future, remember this. God already stands there. He already knows how your story ends. And if you trust him, your ending is not destruction, but redemption. Thank you for watching. If this opened your eyes, subscribe for more Bible insights. And remember, God is not finished with you.